Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning. Today I'm taking a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers after they just signed former Los Angeles Charger Melvin Ingram. But before we get into that topic, question for those of you viewing: where do you rank Big Ben amongst QBs still in the NFL? I don't need an exact ranking of 12 or 18 or 33, whatever you think he is, but just give me a broad range. Do you still think he's top 15, top 20? Just give me a range of where you think he's at, and I'll give my answer at the end. But getting straight into it, if you're a Chargers fan, you might be torn on this one. Maybe you wanted Melvin Ingram to come back, be in Brandon Staley's defense, a little bit of shift of what he's used to. But with the upgraded players, with the upgraded system, you still might have believed that he had some gas into the tank, or you may be happy that he's gone. Depends which way you're looking at it. If you're a Steelers fan, you might as well look at the bright side and say, look, we lost Bud Dupree. This isn't somewhat of a replacement, not a carbon copy of Bud Dupree, but a guy that could still get some sacks, get some pass rush. It's at least an attempt to replace him. And to me, that's a good amount. Melvin Ingram, a guy that's coming off an injury, he's in his 30s. He's not going to get you a guaranteed, season high 14 sacks again, but in a defense that he could feed off of Cameron Hayward, Stephon Tuitt, Devin Bush, TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, I could see him show that he's still got a little bit of gas left in the tank, and it may hurt the Chargers when they're looking at him and see Melvin Ingram's pushing for 8 or 9 sacks in a season. He's got 17 games this year. And like I said, with TJ Watt, a guy that feels like he should have won Defensive Player of the Year, led the league in sacks, he's gonna have a lot of double teams this year. Or there's gonna be a lot of two guys guarding him. You're gonna have Cameron Hayward creating some pass rush, and it might open up a lot of one-on-one matchups for Melvin Ingram that could allow him to get some sacks, let him to rack up some numbers, and make his 1-year, $4 million deal look like a steal for the Steelers. Again, I think it was a good move by the Steelers. It's cheap, it's a prove-it deal, and it's a replacement for Bud Dupree. They have a top 5 defense, in my opinion, still. They just replaced Bud Dupree. Steven Nelson, they lost him, but that was by choice. They released him. Like I said, between Devin Bush, TJ Watt, Cameron Hayward, Melvin Ingram, Minka Fitzpatrick, Joe Hayden, you arguably have a top 3 pass rusher in the league in TJ Watt, a top 3 safety in the league in Minka Fitzpatrick, and then a lot of smart veteran dudes that can play at a high level. What do you expect? This team is going to be pretty good as far as defense goes. Now, as far as the Steelers as a whole, I don't know if they're going to go 11-0 by any means again, but I do think people are underrating them a little bit. Not underrating in the sense, watch out, the Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl, but I just think people are thinking the Steelers are going to go 5-11 or 5-12 now, the 17 games, and that's not going to happen. The Steelers still have a top 5 defense, like I said, and if Melvin Ingram can push the double-digit numbers, which I don't think is impossible, do I think it's likely? No. Will it be a challenge? Yes, but it is not a 1 in a million chance by any means. I think that defense is not going to be something you want to brush off by any means. In the offense, yeah, Big Ben is definitely not Big Ben anymore. He's not going to, lead you to a 13-3 season probably. But to me, he can't get much worse, and he's got some weapons to work with. Juju Smith, Chase Claypool, Deontay Jordan. There's no X-factor receiver, but there's a deep receiving core. Eric Ebron, not the greatest tight end, but he's a reliable tight end that could catch the football. Najee Harris will hopefully up the run game to take pressure off of Big Ben, but where my concern is the backfield, is the O-line. Losing Alejandro Villanueva to the Ravens, losing the Pouncey brother to retirement, losing Matt Filer. That's 3 starting guys. This is one of the worst offensive lines for the Steelers that I've seen in a while, and that's not going to be good for an immobile Big Ben. He's been on this diet supposedly, but Big Ben, he's probably in the worst shape in his career just because of age. No knock to him. That's just been how he is. Maybe he'll come out and surprise us all and this diet's going to give him a 6-pack. I doubt it, but Big Ben's going to be Big Ben. He's going to be a fair size, and his weight is not going to allow him to move around and scramble like a Lamar Jackson outside of this broken Steelers O-line. I'm not trying to act like the Steelers O-line is the worst in the league, but it's definitely not a great one in the league. That's for sure. Again, I'm expecting the Steelers defense to carry them to a lot of wins. I don't expect them to be a Super Bowl team, but like I said, 5-12 is not happening. I could see this team still getting 8-9, 9-8, 10-7, just floating around that 500 range. Overall, I'm a pretty big fan of this signing for the Steelers. Low risk, high reward. You don't see that often in some signings in the NFL. Just to me, is there a better pass rush between Melvin Ingram, Stephon Tuitt, Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt? There's some good ones out there. Washington's got him Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. The Bucs got Shaq Barrett, JPP, Ndamukong Suh, Vita Vea. Browns got Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. There's some good ones out there, but the Steelers are up there with every single one in the NFL. They're top notch. They're a tier 1 pass rush. And I'm excited to see what Melvin Ingram can prove. Can he show that in his 30s, coming off an injury, he could still push for double-digit sacks? Like I said, with 17 games, with TJ Watt getting double-teamed, with Cameron Hayward also helping out on the other side, I think Melvin Ingram could still win some one-on-one matchups, and I think he wants to prove that he's still worth big dollars. He's still getting $4 million. He's not, eating scraps off the floor by any means, but I still think he wants a big, big paycheck like he originally got from the Chargers a while ago. I think it was like 4 years. $64 million, like $16 million a year. I think he wants double-digit money again. If I was the Chargers, I would have honestly probably liked to sign him for $4 million. That's not too bad of a price in my opinion. And especially if you could get him back to LA, he might have even given you more of a discount. Who's to say if he wouldn't have taken $3 million to stay with LA, and you got Melvin Ingram, Joey Bosa, Jerry Tillery, Chris Rumpf, Uchenna Nwosu, Kenneth Murray. If I were the Chargers, I would have spent $4 million on Melvin Ingram and risked it, but maybe Brandon Staley, Tom Telesco are just going in a different direction and they don't want him. I get it. Either way, he's a Steeler now, and I think it was a good move by the Steelers. Like I said, if you're the Chargers, you could look at it one way or another. You could be positive and say, yeah, we didn't want him, take our scraps, or you could be negative and say, only $4 million, we should have had him. One way or the other, he's not on your team. Steelers, I look forward to watching them there. I'm not a Steelers fan, but I am always a fan of watching some of the best defenses in the league, and the Steelers got one of them, if not the best defense league. I don't know if it's top one, but you could definitely make the argument for it. It could be them, the Patriots, the Bucks, the Rams, of course, are always in it. Browns are going to be improved. Dolphins, Vikings, Ravens, Broncos. There's some mighty good defenses in the NFL this year. I'm sure there's more I left off the list. That was just off the top of my head. But either way, Steelers are on par, and I think they're going to be better than we think this year. Great signing. You guys tell me, do you agree or disagree? I'm a big fan of it. Maybe you're all for it. Maybe you think this could have been, the cherry on top of this team actually making a playoff push, or maybe you're negative and thinking, I wanted nothing to do with Melvin Ingram. This was a dumb signing. I want to hear from you guys. I'm open-minded. I want to hear your comments, your opinions, your takes. Maybe one of you guys will change my mind and I'll see something I'm just not thinking of and realize Melvin Ingram was a bad signing. Who knows? But referring back to the question asked in the beginning of the video, where do I rank Big Ben? To me, he might be top 20. He's not top 10 anymore by any means, in no order. Mahomes, Rodgers, Wilson, Watson, Allen, Brady, Jackson, Stafford, Dak, Herbert, that was 10. Kyler Murray, Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins. That's 15 guys that I think are better than Big Ben. Baker Mayfield, probably, that's 16. He's top 20, probably. Jimmy G. Those guys are all efficient. They're not super great, but they still got someone an arm. Big Ben, he's lost his arm. Again, he's probably still top 20 just because of his knowledge, his wisdom, and his experience. He still knows how to play smart football, but on a pure talent and raw skill basis, he has lost a lot. Therefore, he's taking a step back, but still top 20 and can still win football games. Tell me where you rank him, though. I always want to hear your guys' takes. As always, and of course, thank you for watching. 2-minute warning.